Alright, so hello and welcome everyone to this, let's call it water lesson. So this will all about water, raindrops and other stuff that we can do inside of V-Ray. Of course we could do them in every other render engine as well. But in this case we will be using V-Ray. I will also try to record this one here for Octane as well. And yeah, there are a lot of different methods to achieve water, raindrops and so on and so on. And I want to show you some of them. And I don't really think it's that hard. I think it's pretty easy. I think I found a very good site. I will show you this a little bit later, I guess. Where you can create your own raindrops inside of Photoshop and so on. In this case, we will be using a map. Yeah, I think let's just simply get started. First of all, we want to build a shader. Let's make maybe some kind of a glass shader first of all. Did I just create an Octane material? Yes. Let's create a V-Ray Bridge Advanced material. And let's make this some kind of glass, or not some kind, let's make it glass. Let's tick off the diffuse, refraction layer on, and specular layer on as well. And let's IOR 1.6, I think is pretty much fine. Let's maybe give this here more subdivisions, maybe 64 to start off. And let's jump here to V-Ray Bridge. Turn on the indirect illumination. And let's maybe load here brute force path tracing medium. And let's go up with the brute force GI already to 128. Anti-aliasing we will switch a little bit. Filter we can leave tick off, max subdivisions 10, and threshold maybe something like 0.03. And let's maybe create a light, area light. Let's put a tag on it. There we go. And enable shadows, area light. We switch this here to dome. And tick on spherical dome, use texture. Now we'll load a simple HDRI. Okay, I already have one here. It doesn't matter which kind of HDRI you're really using. This doesn't really matter. You can use whatever map you like. Let me just type in here to 5120, and also let me set this here to sRGB. Alright, and let me tick off linear workflow by hitting Ctrl D. Here the linear workflow ticked off inside of Cinema, and let me get this light here a little bit more upwards, just so we have a free scene. And let's create maybe a glass. Let's maybe make it, I don't know, 0.5 centimeters 6, something like that. Might be even a little bit too much, but let's just make it 0.5, and let's maybe bring it up like this. 2 meters by 2 meters is just fine. And like I said, there are different methods to create raindrops, and let's say we want to have some raindrops on our window, something like this. This was a picture created by Cornelius Demrich, and also the map that I'm using here is created by Cornelius Demrich. I also want to show you a little link, just give me a second. So here you can see viscorbel.com, also a really good artist, working I think only with 3D Max, which isn't really bad for us, because we still can pick up a lot of stuff that he's doing for Cinema 4D or for our V-Ray workflow. And here you can watch some of his tutorials. This is mostly Photoshop, and this is what he's doing in 3D Max. You can easily recreate inside of Cinema 4D. And I just thought I show you this. This is not because I'm lazy to record this as well. The problem is just simply he already made a tutorial on how to create your own water droplets inside of Photoshop. So I thought it wouldn't really be fair to, I don't know, just simply do the exact same tutorial that he did and then, I don't know, put my name under it and say, okay, hey, that's all. I mean, I probably could have come up with this idea on my own as well, because it's not really hard to do, but I just think it wouldn't be fair. And if it's already recorded, just simply go and watch it there if you really want to create your own water droplets map, I don't know, for some kind of special shot or whatsoever. Here you can see the final result of his map, and I think it looks pretty good. For our case, we will just simply use the map that I did download from Cornelius Demrich. I will give you this link as well, so you can download it on your own. Here we go, 3D Rain, zomax.net /3D Rain. Here you can see the site, and I think somewhere you have a link to download this map. I think, yeah, right here, Tiny Able map for raindrops. You just click on this, and then here 8K raindrop displacement map, and a lot of different other stuff, tile ladle glass maps you can download, and what do I know what he all shares on this site, which is pretty cool. I did already download this. I don't know why I'm downloading it again. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let's put the glass material here onto our cube, and let's make a first test render and see if we get in here some kind of glass. If we can recognize this here, that we have some glass going on. Yes, we do. Okay, that's pretty nice. Let's maybe give it a little bit of bump, just a slight noise. Let's maybe tick on bump. Let's just load a noise in. And let's maybe make this bump amount 0.01 so we can see a little bit better, a little bit more disturbing things inside the glass. Yeah, I think like this it looks pretty good. Maybe let's make it even a little thicker. Let's make it maybe 1 centimeter so we're getting a little bit more of a refraction here. Yeah, I think that's fine enough. That's definitely fine enough for what we are doing here. And let's say, okay, this is I don't know, exterior shot, interior shot, doesn't really matter. I want to have some raindrops on there. So what I can do is just simply go create shader, ViroBridge advanced material. And now we just simply load this map that I have here. I think I have it on my desktop. Let me see if I can drag and drop this. Yes, I can. It's kind of a heavy map, to be honest. It's 32-bit EXR file. So yeah, this file is definitely a little bit heavy. And let's just simply go, I think we don't even should load this in the diffuse layer, sorry. We should just load this in the alpha channel. So we're only getting the raindrops. And we turn on a refraction layer and turn on a specular layer. And now we're setting the Fresnel IOR to 1.33. So as soon as you're working with water, and I really mean water. I don't mean different liquids, because different other liquids can have different IORs, like whiskey or whatever you're working with. But normal water always works the best. At least this worked out for me the best. And when you're searching for IOR lists of different materials, you most of the time getting for water an IOR of 1.33. So we're just simply setting the refraction IOR to 1.33 and the specular layer to 1.33, and we should be good to go. What I want to check first of all, before I'm doing anything here, I would just want to load this here in a normal Cinema 4D material into the color channel, my map, and want to put it onto the window so I can see how my raindrops will appear on this thing. And to be honest, I'm not seeing much. I think we have to load this map first of all inside of Photoshop and maybe convert it a little bit down so I can definitely see what's going on. I don't even think that a 32-bit map, I mean, of course you get more gray, white, black, what do I know, information in a 32-bit map, but 16-bit would be way than enough for this map. At least this was, I think. I'm not sure why I did it in 32-bit. And also with an EXR file, because the EXR file really only shines when you have a lot of lighting information in the scene and stuff like that. And for normal raindrop displacement map, shouldn't really be necessary to do this. But yeah, what do I know? Okay, I'm just waiting for Photoshop to open this up, and then we will convert it, and then we will jump back into Cinema 4D and we'll see what we can do with this map. Alright, so here we have the file in 8K and 32-bit, and I will just simply save this now to the desktop or something like that. Maybe even let me save it here. No, not client, ZeroToHero. And let me make a new lesson. Lesson 33, water. Let's just simply call it water. And let me save this here as an, I think I had to convert this first of all. So let's go image mode 16-bit. Yes. Cancel. No. I think I have to make this editable here first of all. Okay. And then image mode 16-bit. Don't merge. So I don't want to do anything crazy to this map. Okay. And now we just simply save it as an 16-bit map. That's just not a PDF, just a TIFF file, 16-bit. discard layers and save a copy. We don't even have layers, so it doesn't really matter what we would have chosen here. And let's just simply load this map now right here, otherwise, yeah, let's just simply load it. Okay, and let's see if we can get some kind of preview now. At least I hope so, but maybe not. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. Maybe I need to make this cube editable. This doesn't really make much of a difference, and I can't really see this map. So let's just simply make a test render and see how this map aligns on this surface. I think V-Ray should show us the normal Cinema 4D material as well. Yeah, and it does, and I think we have a lot of raindrops going on here on this map, but they shouldn't really matter to us. This should be okay. I think this is just fine for now. If you would load it, like, let's also load here the 16-bit map. Sorry about that. Let's load it here into the the material weight, sorry, and this should be it. And let me just pull this up here onto the cube and let us see if we get at least the raindrops here. Nope, no raindrops for now. Let me create a displace material, Zero Bridge displace material, and we will load the map right here. And load image. Let's load this in, and let's put here the displacement map onto our cube, and let's see if we get anything here. Displacement always takes a little bit of time to load, of course. This is pretty clear, and as you can see, yeah, we're starting to getting some really nice raindrops and stuff like that. But now we also have to combine this here a little bit with our shader here. So the displacement should always be here in the first place. So we go and create shader blend material, and in the blend material we will drop in here space material our glass, because we still want to have glass in our window, of course. And over it we will just simply pull here this raindrops material with the alpha, with the 1.33 IOR, and tick this on here. And yeah, now we should get, with the displacement and the blend material behind it, behind the displacement, we should get a normal window, and everywhere where we have the displacement, or we should get normal glass, and everywhere where we have the displacement we should get our 1.33 water material for the raindrops. If I did everything right here, and I hope this will work like that, and it looks pretty much like it. And as you can see, it starts to look like there is a lot of rain going on our window. It looks pretty cool. And yeah, it's easy like that. So you just simply create and load this black and white map into the alpha channel, type an IOR of 1.33, create a normal window material, put this all together into blend, create a displace, and that's it. That's pretty much it, and we have a lot of raindrops going on onto our window. We could even up here the raindrops, of course, if we want to, the displacement, so it looks maybe even like a little bit more, maybe like 2 centimeters. Probably is too much, yeah, but just for this lesson purpose, so you can see this a little bit better. We could just simply up this and yeah, see what we get. If it does look now even a little bit more realistic. Maybe the displace is even going into the wrong direction. Yeah, the displacement is anyway way too much, I think. It looks now a little bit carved into the thing. Yeah, the thing is, the window is only 1 centimeter in thickness, and right now we're working with an amount of 2 centimeters here in the displace, so a value of 0.5 might be a good value here to work with, because otherwise it's just simply going through the geometry completely, which is definitely not something that we want to achieve. So I think 0.5, 0.8 is probably good enough for us. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good already. I think I wouldn't really change much on this shot anymore. because I really like how the water droplets look on those windows. Okay, so this is one method, so you can paint your own map and then just simply work with those maps if you want. So if you want to achieve some kind of water, rainy, what do I know look. Like I said, really watch this tutorial for Viscorbal if you really want to know how it's done in Photoshop. His English is pretty good, so I think you can follow along pretty nice and pretty well. By the way, we could also make this a frosted glass here in the back. So let's just simply jump into the glass material and let's maybe here in the refraction go down here a little bit with the glossiness, maybe to 0.74, and yeah, gives this whole thing a little bit of a frosted look, and then we can let it render. So you can achieve all kind of different glass looks, of course, and then just simply put the rain map over it. This is just, yeah, what I wanted to say. I just want to see how it looks now on some kind of frosted glass. If this might look cool or something like that, probably does. So all those raindrops, as you can see, we're getting a lot of noise now, so we need to up the subdivisions here probably. Yeah, so we can't see the raindrops anymore so good because of much noise in the scene. So if you run into that case, just simply up here, the glossiness subdivisions, this will definitely help to get rid of this, and maybe also here in the specular layer a little bit higher. But you can check this always with the method that I've showed you before. Just simply tick on the sample rate and check out where the noise is really coming from. Okay, anyway, another method that we can use is we could create our own water droplets if you want to. Let me create a camera first of all here. Alright, and let me disable it in the viewport. What we can do is we can just simply create a sphere, make it really small, and let's get rid here of this render perfect, and let's maybe cut it in half. Let's maybe make it a hemisphere, I think. Yes. Okay. All right. And let's maybe give it more segments, like maybe something like 50. Let's hit the C key and let's scale it a little bit down. It's still way too big. Let's make it really like a small water droplet, something like this. Maybe a little bit bigger. I'm not sure. And we can just simply go MoGraph, cloner, and put the sphere into the cloner. And we want to clone it on an object, and in this case on our window. So let me call this window. Let me call this here raindrops. And this technique will also be often be used on bottles and product shots where you have like this condensation going on the bottle because it's really coming out of the fridge or whatsoever. So this is a pretty common technique. So what we can do here in the cloner, we can just simply drop in our window as object. So it will try to clone this sphere now on this window here. And we will just simply switch this here to surface. And let me tick off textures for now. Why is this window so black? I really don't get it. It's completely black. Maybe let me turn off the lights. This will help, I guess. Yeah, okay. And as you can see, the cloner object already tries to clone this on here. The problem is they are not really good aligned, as you can see. So I think we need to change here. I think what we could do, we could just simply rotate the original sphere like this. So for 90 degrees in this direction. Let me see if that helps. No, it doesn't. We can here in transform, we can still transform normally those things here. Yes, we can. And let's just rotate it for -90. And as you can see, now those things align perfectly on this thing. But they all look pretty, yeah, it just simply looks, they all look the same. They have the same size, they have the same scale, and so on and so on. So let's click on a cloner and go MoGraph Effector Random. Or you can just simply drop it into here, effectors. But if you click on a cloner and then add the random effector or any effector, will automatically add it here to the effectors. And now we just simply tick off the position and we tick on the scale. And let's maybe tick on uniform scale. And now we can just simply scale this around if we want to. So yeah, make some bigger, make some smaller. And now we can just simply go into the cloner and say, okay, I want to have way more clones because right now I have like 20. So let's just maybe go with 1000 maybe. And also let's tick on render instances. So this will help to calculate this whole stuff. So this already starts to look pretty good. Let's maybe give it 3000. Might look even a little bit better. But the thing is, as soon as they are hitting each other, as you can see, they are not really sticking together. So what we can do here, because when when two raindrops just simply come together, they just start to mix up and build a new shape. And we can achieve this if we just simply use here a metaball. Metaball will exactly do that for us. The problem is that this might not be really slow. So let me save this file first of all before I'm crashing here anything. ZeroToHero lesson 33. Okay. And let's drop in the metaball into the cloner and the raindrops into the metaball. Okay, this looks not really crazy. This is because of the subdivisions that are probably... I cannot even zoom out here. Okay, this is really crazy. Let's just make the editor subdivisions maybe something like 10. Or let's maybe make this something like 2. Yeah, now we're really getting into some trouble here. It's getting really slow now. This is exactly what I meant. This is also why I saved this file first of all. Because if you're typing in here too low values, this means that the overall look will be way better, but also that it takes a lot of more time for Cinema 4D to calculate that. And so yeah, this is not really going well for us right now. I hope I can at least tick off the metaball. Yes, I can. Okay. And yeah, hull value. I would really love to see this a little bit better. Why? Oh, now we have a problem again. Let me rotate those drops again. Because of this metaball, yeah, let's just simply bring this here to -180. How can I do this? Really good question. Okay, let me push this out here first of all. Let me turn on back the metaball. Okay, even here, only with one thing, this runs completely crazy. I'm not sure what is going on, to be honest. Let me tick this off again. Come on, be nice. Be nice, please. Thanks. Okay. Maybe this is just really way too... Let's maybe make it 40 again. Let's tick it on now. And let's maybe make the clones here way less. Let's maybe just work with a count of 10 and drop back in the metaball and the raindrops, and let's see what we get. Wow. Okay, this is really big. I mean, what is going on? I really would love to zoom out here and really see what's going on. Okay, just making a really big sphere. Hull value. What is this hull value again? Sorry about that. Hull value defines how tightly the hull is upholded. High values mean that the hull is wrapped more tightly around the object. Okay, Let me bring this down here to 20 maybe. Why is it making such a big sphere? I don't get it, to be honest. Normally this shouldn't happen. Because the raindrop is really small and we're getting such a big hull, which is kinda crazy. Let's make this 10. Okay, let's maybe make the raindrop way smaller. Okay, this doesn't have no impact whatsoever. Let's make the metaball smaller. But this shouldn't really help. No, it doesn't. Really good question. What is going on here? Let me check this quickly. Sorry. Okay, right, sorry, my hard disk crashed, my external one, and when this hard disk crashes, it always takes away the sound driver as well, and then I can restart the complete computer. I have an old file here that I was working on really a while ago, and here I can check what I did there. Sometimes I don't even remember my own stuff, which is kind of funny, but yeah, what can you do? As you can see here, this is my old Coca-Cola shot. Let me check this quickly, how it does look. Yeah, like this, and here you can see some water droplets going on. And I can give you the scene file as well, so you can check it out a little bit better if you want to. This is not just only the bottle, this is not really what I was looking for. I was looking for the complete scene. Let's maybe open up this one here. Yes, that's the one, and let me tick off the meterballs because this will slow down the scene dramatically. And here you can see how it was built. So the meta ball needs to be up there, and then inside the meta ball the cloner, and then the sphere here did only use a sphere, did not even make it editable. But here you can see already water drops going on the Coca-Cola bottle. Let me see how many clones I did use. 6,000. Okay. So let's get rid of this, and let's just simply drop the cloner into the meta ball. And this still doesn't really look good, to be honest. Let's maybe go down here with the subdivisions to 15. Let me see if this does any help. Do we need here anything? Do I overlook anything here? I don't really think so, to be honest. Hull value maybe to 0% or something like that, since we make it 10. I'm not even 100% sure what this hull value does and why we would need it. I think in the other scene I have it something like 70%. What is really going on here? I have no clue. Align clone, object is the bottle, yes. Okay, here I have a selection tag also enabled, but it shouldn't really matter. And in the meta ball itself, okay, editor subdivisions and render subdivisions are at 0.005. Yeah, I don't want to crash Cinema 4D once again, but we could go really, really low here. Let's see if this makes a difference. Let's make it 1 centimeter. Make it 1 centimeter here. This will now for sure load a little bit. Even so, let's maybe just type in 20, count of 20 here. But I can't really move right now. Maybe the null object that I use between the cloner and the raindrops is also really important. Let's try it once again. Let's drop in a null here and then the raindrops. But the null shouldn't really make a difference. And as you can see, I still can't move in my scene, so Cinema 4D is still calculating all this stuff. And yeah, let's just simply let it calculate. The problem is with Cinema 4D that some of the older stuff like meta balls and some of the deformers and stuff like that are not multi-threaded at all. So this stuff only using one CPU core, and this really slows down the process. What I know, or as far as I know, Maxon is working with the newer version, with the R19 and R20. They're really starting to optimizing all the deformers and all the old stuff to make this all multi-threaded as well. Also, they're working a lot on the viewport to make the viewport a lot more faster and reliable. So yeah, Maxon is definitely working on this as far as I know. So I think soon, within 1 or 2 years, all this stuff will be really, really updated and way faster, hopefully. I will just pause the video here and wait for the meta ball to calculate, and I hope it will, yeah, calculate this today. And I don't have to wait till tomorrow, but we will see this pretty soon, or not. Okay, I think the mistake was maybe that I also gave this sphere here a meta ball tag as well. This might help to achieve this here with our raindrops as well. So let's go Cinema 4D and give it a meta ball tag, and let's just simply copy here the values. Let's maybe bring this here down, or bring this up here to 30 centimeters. Okay, and let's use this cloner here once again. Let me shut off the one that I did copy over. And let's up this here to 6,000, like we had it before. Maybe. Yeah, okay, now the rotation is a little bit messed up. Let's just rotate it in the cloner. Let's go here to transform and bring this to -180. Yes, okay. They should really lie on the surface, also on the other side, okay. Maybe I don't want to have it on the other side because I only want to have it here in the front. So let me just select the window. Let's go select this polygon here, and let's go select set selection. And then we can say the cloner, okay, just only map it onto the selection that we have here. So let's drop in here the polygon surface, and now the raindrop should be gone. Yes, okay, that's good. And let's delete this old cloner that we have here, and let's drop this into the meta ball. And let's save the file first of all, before anything crashes. And let's turn on back the meta ball, and let's hope that we're getting now the result that we are aiming for, so that they really start to sticking together as well. Which would be pretty cool, of course, because this is exactly what should be happen here anyway. Okay, so as you can see, Cinema 4D is calculating and calculating, so I will pause this video once again and hope that it will soon finish with it. Okay, so I think the main problem that we have here that it's not working with this kind of shape, or at least not when this is editable. This tag is, by the way, only there to have a little bit more control over how the metaball over here behaves. So I think this probably will never work here with this metaball. So let's just simply create a normal sphere. And let's not make it editable. Let's just simply make it a hemisphere like before. Let's bring it down a little bit. Let's maybe up the subdivision. Okay, this is way too big still. And let's maybe up the subdivision, see maybe something like 30. And let's just simply drop it into the null. Okay, still way too big, so let's scale this down even a little bit more. Yes, okay. And let's rotate this whole thing again. Minus 90. Okay, perfect. And if you activate now the metaball, this should finally give us some kind of result. At least I hope now it's working. Yeah, it does. Even so, okay, this is now really, really small. Maybe too small. Let's maybe set the total value here to 100%. This makes a difference, and let's scale the sphere maybe a little bit more. See if this makes a difference. We might just have to test render this, or let's maybe give it in the editor subdivision here 1 centimeter for now. Let me see if this makes any difference. Render subdivisions 1 centimeter. No, 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 no. The sphere just really gets really, really small. And I can't really see anymore what's going on. This might be also because, let me tick off the metaball again. Okay, the sphere is now way too big. But as you can see, they really start to adding together a little bit. Yeah, even so, I think they're just overlapping. This has nothing to do. Okay, the size like this should be okay. Let's turn back on the metaball. Let's leave this all like this. Let's jump into our camera and let's make a test render. Maybe we can really see in the render what is going on. Okay, I have to turn on the light as well. Otherwise we are screwed, which is not good. Let's see what we get. We don't get... Oh, I also have here a water material on the balls, on the spheres. Let me get rid here. Yeah, but I think we can use this water material that I did copy over. Let me look at this, 1.33, yes, in the specular, this is fine. And 1.33 here in the refraction, yeah, that's fine as well. Okay, let's drop this onto the sphere here. And let's render this once again. Oh, and let's also make sure that we have the window material on our window, which should be this one. This is now frosted glass. Let me change this back to a normal glass. And let's drop this onto the window. And let's see what we get. Is the metaballs enabled now? Are we getting some raindrops? No, something is absolutely not working here. Let me get rid of the metaball and let me see what we get now. Now we're starting to getting this. Okay, this is good. Even thought, okay, they are still in the wrong direction once again. Or are they? No, they are not. Okay, they are in the right direction. Let me go back with the camera. I'm just not sure why the metaball is not working and why they're not sticking together right now. This is really kind of weird, I think. Let me give this sphere here a metaball tag as well. Let me up the radius here to 30. And here 0.05, this should be just fine. As lower you get there, it's just simply subdivisions, the smoother they will stick together. So this shouldn't really have anything to do with the size of these things. They should really just simply have to do with the smoothness, how they stick together in the end. And I think it's kind of weird that the metaball is really absolutely not working. Maybe it's the render instances. Do I have to tick this off to make this work? Otherwise metaball will not work. This might be the case. But this will also give us a lot of geometry. Let me see how fast this V-Ray calculates when I tick off render instances. Okay, pretty good. Might be just fine. Even so, the raindrops look a little bit big right now, so we might have to go down in size and make more clones. And I also don't think this was 6000. By far not. Let me zoom in here once again. Let me see how those look. Yeah, should be fine. Should be really fine. Let me just go down with the overall size of the sphere. Just a little bit. Where do we have the sphere? Is it really that small already? Maybe even a little bit smaller, something like this. Maybe 0.15 in the radius. Let's bring it back into the cloner. Yeah, okay, now we're getting a lot of small things, which is good. Okay, let me... Now it gets kind of hard to move in the scene. Okay, let's render this once again. Let's see what we get. Well, not much without light, of course. Let's try this again. Yeah, I think this is starting to getting somewhere, definitely. We might need more clones, so really, let's maybe double this here. Even thought that we will be even a little bit more slower here. But as long as it's calculating, shouldn't really matter to us. Yeah, definitely looking like some raindrops on the window. And let's maybe bring this back to 6000. Let's activate Metaballs for one last time and let's see if this works now. I mean, Cinema 4D could at least say down here calculating or something like that, so I have at least a clue what is going on and how long it will take and so on and so on. Let me see if I can already move in the scene. No, I can't. Now the geometry just simply disappears because Cinema 4D is still calculating. Let me just pause the window and let's see if Cinema 4D this time really calculates it till the end and we really see some results finally. So yeah, I did change here a little bit. I did change the radius back up to 0.5 in the sphere and the metaballs. I did set the editor subdivision to 10 centimeters so you really can see what is going on. So as you can see, this already starts to line together, but since the subdivisions are now so high, it looks kind of weird. So let's go back to 5 centimeters. Then you can see, okay, it already looks a little bit smoother. And let's maybe go down to 3 centimeters here. So then it starts to even get more smoother and smoother. But it really starts to look a little bit like this rain shape. Let's go maybe down to 1 centimeter. As you can see, Cinema 4D is calculating. Still calculating. Still calculating. Okay, now we're getting a result. And as you can see, now we're really starting to getting this kind of raindrop effect, stuff like that. Even shot, this is now way too big, but it shouldn't really matter. Now we can even make it smoother. Let's go down to 0.5. Now Cinema 4D will calculate and calculate over and over again. Okay, still calculating. Let's wait a little bit. Okay, this should be now the look with 0.5 centimeters, and let's maybe bring this here down to 0.1 centimeter so we can see in the editor how basically almost our final look will look. And the render subdivision, so when we really render, is then 0.05. So this will be the final output when we are really rendering. Right now the sphere is, I guess, just simply too big because too much is sticking together right now, which is not so cool. Okay, now it's calculating again. It's not really getting, did not get any smoother yet, which means, okay, still calculating. Waiting, Cinema 4D. I really think this is not multi-threaded, to be honest. I really think so. Because otherwise this would go way faster. I think it's still calculating here. But yeah, what should really matter is then the render subdivisions in the end. Yeah, still calculating, I guess. Or can I move? No, I can't move. This means it's still calculating. Let's maybe up this here back up to 0.5 or something like that. Come on, be nice. Let me do something here. Yeah. I mean, this is one method to do it. If you're really patient and stuff like that, this metaball can really help you to make some kind of realistic raindrop effects. I know back then I even had a slower CPU and stuff like that when I was working on this cola bottle, and I always knew, okay, this will now take some time to calculate and stuff like that. But yeah, I was just sitting it out and waiting for it, and so I could make the final shot. And yeah, God thanks it was only a steal. But yeah, as you can see, not much is happening right now. I can't even click here on this checker here. I can't type in anything, so it's still calculating, so I will just simply pause the video and then bring it back up. Yeah, it's still calculating, so I think I can just simply close Cinema 4D, to be honest. Otherwise I run crazy here. The memory is not even that high, it's only using 2 GB of RAM, but there's still nothing happening. I mean, this is sometimes, really need to say, this is sometimes really something that pisses me off. Just really pisses me off when I'm recording something and then Cinema 4D is like really messing up this complete stuff. This is really something that drives me absolutely crazy. Yeah, I really wish this would work. So let's just simply go with 0.3 centimeters here, and segments 30 is fine, and meta ball, let's edit the subdivisions up this here, maybe back to 1 centimeter. Let's activate the meta balls. Let's see what we get. Oh damn it, I did 0.11 centimeter set, please. Yeah, and now we're getting a little bit something of those things that's sticking together. Why do I get so much white points, by the way, here? Are they so small, those spheres? Is this random effector so hard? Yeah, scale is -1 point. Let's maybe just set this here to 0.1, so we only have 0.1 difference here. And let's bring the sphere maybe back up to something like 0.5 or something like that. And let's drop the null back in here and the sphere back in here. And now we should get a little bit something. Now it's calculating again. Can't do anything here. Okay. Now it's just simply hiding my geometry. And yeah, let's maybe up this here to 10 centimeters. Okay. So I can see where they are sticking together, at least a little bit. Okay, here. Let's make this sphere maybe a little bit bigger. Let's maybe make it 1 centimeter so that more stuff is... Okay, now a lot of stuff is coming together here. Let's maybe make this, bring this back down to 0.6. Okay, so some things are sticking together. Let's maybe bring this here to 0.1 in the final render. Let's get our camera and let's see what we get when we really make a final render here. Okay, it seems like this is really for the final rendering, so let's go render to picture viewer. And let's not render it in the viewport. And as you can see now, it's just simply saying preparing. So this is now really the calculation of the meta balls, of the final subdivisions that we have set for rendering. And this can now definitely take some time. And I will really let this render now, pause the video here, and then we can see how long it really takes to calculate this here. So as you can see, we're already 3 minutes in and it's still preparing and calculating this stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick update that we're already at 3 minutes and nothing happened so far. And yeah, I would just pause the video and wait till it's really starting rendering. Okay, so this is the end result, and as you can see, it still doesn't look really good. To be honest, I'm not even sure, do we have a material on there? Yeah, we do have a material on there. But it is still way too big, and we would need to go down with the spheres, with the radius of the sphere, and we would need to go down a little bit more, maybe even with the subdivision. So this meta ball doesn't really do us any good here, and the calculation time is really high. So this would, I think, really only work for a still shot like I did with the Coca-Cola bottle. If you would just simply do it like this without a meta ball, I think the calculation would be way faster. And we would also get a way better result. Let's just click on render instances and let's maybe make this here 30,000 drops. Something like this. And let's go down with the sphere maybe here to a radius of 0.3. Let's up here maybe a little bit the randomization to 0.3 in the scale. So we're getting some bigger drops as well. And then let's just simply calculate this. And as you can see, this is calculating really so fast with radar instances on, which is no problem whatsoever. And we also getting a pretty good raindrop effect. Probably not so good like with the map like before, but for all kind of bottle shots where you wanna simulate some kind of condensations and stuff like that, this method will work pretty good. And if you're ever doing a product shot like that where the client maybe requests something like this, you can easily use this method. Okay, so this was it with the meta balls, even though it didn't really work so good, but at least you know how you can make it look good and work with it, even though the calculation time would really be a little bit higher. The last thing that I want to show you about water, even though I will not go into ice today, but I will add a scene file that I was working on. It's a little bit of an ice I did just simply model a grenade and then just simply try to make some kind of ice material onto this grenade geometry. I don't know, just for fun, to make it look like a little bit more abstract. But you can check out this ice material as well and see how it's built. Basically, ice would be frozen water. So if you want to build ice, just simply think a little bit for yourself. So we would definitely go with an IOR of 1.33, but definitely setting down here the glossiness in the refraction, and also maybe here some of the glossiness here in the specular layer. And then we could also add a little bit of bump mapping and a little bit something, maybe a map in the refraction itself here, texture map. So we get a little bit something going on the inside as well. But I will just simply give you the scene file so you can check ice out a little bit better as well. Let's just simply drop this water material here onto this plane surface. And I did create a shot a while ago, which is called Chanel number 5. Let me show this quick. Here you have a little bit of an making of video on VMO if you're really interested in it, this was the final result, and as you can see, I did let it stand a little bit on water. I thought this looks pretty good. The shot was, by the way, done in Octane, but this doesn't really matter for our V-Ray tutorial here, because we can, of course, do the exact same thing in V-Ray as well. So all you want to do, really, is just, I don't know, drop the plane onto the floor. Let's maybe make it a little bit bigger. Let's duplicate this plane, and let's see that we throw this plane that we just duplicated a little bit down here. So we have it like this, and let's just simply create a black diffuse material so we're not seeing through here. Let's make this here really diffuse layer and make this like 5% black. Okay, and drop this onto the plane that is lying under our water plane. Should be like this, I hope. This is our water. Yes, perfect. Okay, all right. And if you would look at this, it would look like this probably. Here we still have our window standing. So as you can see, 100% reflective water, which is not really, I mean, if there is no wind going on and stuff like that, maybe the water would look like this. But to make this look a little bit more realistic, what we could do is just simply add a simple noise map here to our bump. So let's activate bump, texture map, let's go noise, and let's just simply try it with the first noise that we find here. And let us see what we get with 1 centimeter bump amount. As you can see, we're already starting to getting a little bit some kind of waves. Of course, we could make this now look a little bit better. Let's maybe go down here with the global scale to 50% inside the noise, and let's see what we get here. As you can see, this already starts to look a little bit better. We could also go with a displacement, which would probably look a little bit better. So let's just simply go displace material. Let's copy the noise over that we just created. Let's go bump, copy channel. Let's deactivate the bump here because we're using displacement now. Put it in there, and let's put the displacement onto the plane. And let's put it really into the front. Let's make the plane editable for now. And maybe let's try it without making it editable and see if this works. Okay, it takes a little bit more time to calculate, as you can see. But displacement will definitely always look better, and you can see we're getting some kind of ocean here, maybe a little bit too less variation inside of the noise. And also we could make this here a little bit bigger maybe again. Let's maybe bring it back up to 100%. And let's see what we get here with displacement. And this is just the first noise we are using, so this is the standard noise. So there's a lot of stuff that we can play around with, of course. And like this, I think it looks already a little bit better. Let's maybe bring it to 75%. And we could, like I said, we could also try out other noises. Maybe blister turbulence would look pretty good as a water material. There are also a lot of maps that you can search for on the internet. Just simply look, I don't know, water texture or water V-ray texture, something like this, or water octane texture, what do I know? And you will probably find a lot of maps. The problem is with maps that they are always limited, of course, to their size and how you map them. And with a simple noise, it will be just simply be full procedural and will never ever what is the word again? Will not repeat itself. So we just simply have a completely random water map, and this is probably what you want to have for this. And like this, I think we are getting pretty close to a nice water material. I think there's still a lot of things we could tweak. We could go down with the octaves here a little bit if we want to. Let's maybe bring this down here to 2, or maybe bring it up to 20. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff we could play around to make this look even a little bit more better and a little bit more convincing. Let's try this again, maybe with 2 octaves. See what it looks like. Might look a little bit better. And like I said, these are only 2 noises that I did try out. Let's maybe try this displaced turbulence here as well. Let's see what kind of water effect we're getting here. For me, it's always kind of hard to tell. Even, of course, I can imagine it a little bit something how it will look like based on this map, but to make a simple test render will always help a little bit more. It doesn't look too shabby, to be honest. I think this is okay. We could also go with electric. Electric will probably not be the one we are looking for, not for water, definitely. I mean, maybe it has some kind of wave shape in it, those really dark black strokes. But I think it's not the map that we're looking for. No, definitely not. You can see this really doesn't look like water waves. We could try out FBM. FBM might be good. I think this is a map where I can tell this might work for water. But you always have to check it out, and yeah, it doesn't look too shabby. I think this is definitely something we could work with. We can also, of course, give it more displacement if we want to. If you say, okay, this is by God not the height that I'm searching for. Let's maybe give it 10 centimeters instead of 1, and let's see what we get. So this would be really higher waves. And there, I think the map does not really work with that size, so we could just simply go back, maybe try blister turbulence again. And yeah, I think we definitely would need to go down with the size here. Maybe something like 2 centimeters might be more than enough. So yeah, this is just really playing around, but I just want to show you how you can easily, without having any problems with dealing with maps and stuff like that, how you can easily create some water waves. And then you just simply have to adjust it for your shot if you want to. What we also could do if you want to do an animation is, of course, you can just simply go here and set keyframes for the scale, for the animation speed, for the movement, of course. So I could just simply go there and I don't know, set a keyframe here at frame 0, and then I just simply I don't know, go to frame 90, set here movement maybe of 100 centimeters, or let's maybe make it 1000, set another keyframe, and then this map should be just simply moving, right? And let's just simply render out a quick animation. Let's not really save it. Let's just simply pull this here to JPEG. No saving, and let's maybe even go up here a little bit with the threshold, so we're getting really a fast result here. Antialiasing 0.05. Now we'll just render like maybe 10 frames or something like that. Output all frames, please. Yes. And let's go render the picture viewer. Yes. And let's see how fast this is calculating. I mean, this is now only 800 by 600, but as you can see, it's rendering pretty fast. The only thing that takes a little bit to load is the displacement, probably. And let's see if this is really moving right now. No, I don't think so it is. So let's just, maybe this was the wrong 1. Let's maybe also give it here 90, also 1000 centimeters here. And 1000 centimeters here. And let's also up here the speed maybe to something like, I don't know, 50%. Maybe we have to set this here as well. I haven't done this yet, but I think it's working like this. And let's render again. And let's see if we're getting some kind of water movement here. So if you ever want to have animated water, this is probably the way to go. Let's see. We should already see at the second frame a little bit of a different map if this would be really working. Yeah, and it is. As you can see now, we're really getting some movement from frame 0 to frame 1. And you really have to test this. I mean, you really would need to have to test this and see how it does look, and if the movement speed is too fast or it's too slow for what you're looking for, and so on and so on. So this is probably way too fast, as you can see. What you can do to check this out a little bit better in the first place is just simply go here, copy the noise over that you have animated, put it here into normal Cinema 4D material. I think this should work. Let's get rid here of the reflectance, put this onto the cube, onto the plane, and let's get rid of the displacement material first of all. And let's turn back on textures here. And then you would see probably how this map is moving. Or maybe not. What the hell? Why not? It should work normally, I guess. Yeah, okay, it's not. Let me also up here the preview, texture preview size. Let's maybe make it 2048 by 2048 so I can see a little bit better what's going on here. Animate preview. Maybe this will also help to see a little bit better what's going on. Okay, and I see absolutely nothing. I mean, I can see here some animation. Let's maybe bring this down to 512 by 512. Yeah, okay, here I can see a little bit of an animation. Why can I see it in the viewport? Let me check this. Noises. Okay, I have to tick on noises here as well. Let me see if this has some kind of impact on the quality now. No, it doesn't. Level of detail is high. I don't really think I can do much more, but let's see if we see an animation. Let me change this back down to 2024. Yeah, and now we're seeing the animation as soon as we tick on here noises. And as you can see, this is now way too fast animated. Let's maybe try it here with speed of 1%. Let's see how much impact the speed has. Okay, the speed, let's set this to 0. I really want to see if we need to set a speed or if it's really just the movement. Yeah, we need to set a speed. Okay, so let's just simply set it here to 1%. Otherwise nothing is moving. And let's maybe bring this here to maybe 10 centimeters right here. Let's see what's doing now. Okay, let's set this here back to 0. Also here back to 0. Let's only let it move here. This should not be the y-axis, I guess. And this is still way too fast. This is really, really like crazy fast. Let's maybe try it with 0.1 centimeter. Yeah, this might look good as a water effect. You can really see it moving. I think this looks pretty good probably. Let's just get rid of the window. Let's jump into our camera. Let's bring the camera up and let's maybe render out an animation like this. Stop. Render to picture viewer. Yes. Oh, okay, sorry. Of course we need to copy this noise now. Copy channel and bring it back into our displacement. Get rid of this noise, go here, paste channel, bring back our displacement material. Behind the displacement material, the water material. Never, always put the displacement material into the first place here. Otherwise, could be that it's not working, the displacement. And then we put our material that we want to use after the displacement. Yeah, otherwise, like I said, you can run into some problems. Okay, let's make a test render. Did I turn off the light again? No. Okay, then the angle is just really, really bad, I guess. Let's maybe also get rid of the black plane. Maybe this is taking away too much. Let me check this. Yeah, like this, okay. We might see a little bit better what's going on. Let me up the light here a little bit, maybe there's something like 2. Let me check it, how it does look. It does look like... We could also make this not completely pure white water, we could give it a little bit of a color here. That's maybe kind of a darker greenish color. So it's looking like some kind of dirty, what do I know, water. Maybe something like this. Let's see how it does look like. Yeah, maybe something like this. Well, let's maybe just leave it white. And let's just simply render this to the picture view. We should really see through the refraction and stuff like that how the water is animating on our HDRI floor and how this movement does look like. I will just simply hit the pause button, let this quickly render, and then we can look at our little water animation that we just created. Alright, so we can already see a little bit something of our animation. As you can see, this is definitely working. So if you want to have some kind of water effect, if you have an animation where you want to have the water moving or something like that, let's just simply animate the noise, and this is the result that we get in the end. Even though this is just at 70 frames right now, but you definitely can see how the water is moving. Also, the caging here is a little bit slow, so it's not running at real time right now. So this is why it looks a little bit weird, because V-Ray is still calculating in the background, and this takes away some CPU power and so on. Of course, we could optimize this a little bit better, but for now, I think this is good enough to show you a way how you can make your own animations. The last thing, you could also, of course, use an SSS material for this whole thing, so a fast SSS2 material. If you want to have a little bit more depth to this complete water, then just simply change the IR to 1.33 here, and then we can single scatter, I think, to ray trace solid or ray trace refractive. Then we can also work here a little bit with water, play with the subsurface color and with the scatter color. Then you also get a really nice depth of this water if you want to. So yeah, you can definitely also use SSS for water, which will give it even a more greater look. And we could work with caustics and so on. So with an HDRI, it might be hard to get caustics. You can play around with the caustic subdivisions, photon subdivisions. I think a sun would be here better, but then make sure that you also play around with that you tick on caustics right here if you want to have them. Let's see if you would get any caustics if you render this here. Probably not. Like I said, with the sun it would probably work better. Let's just simply compare frame 0 with this frame 0 here. And yeah, we're getting a little bit of a different look. But this shouldn't really be. Let me check something else. Yeah, I think the camera is a little bit different as well right now. Anything else has changed? I don't think these are no caustics whatsoever. This is just a simple reflection. But yeah, if you wanna work with caustics, this will be a chapter that we'll be jumping on later on in a later lesson, because I think caustics itself is worth its own lesson. So I just want to make sure, if you want to play around with caustics and read maybe your own stuff on the internet, if you want to go faster into it, then just simply make sure that you tick on caustics here. That's for sure. Otherwise it won't work. And then try it with the sunlight and play around here with the photon subdivisions and play around here with the multiplier and the search distance and so on. Maybe read some in the manual and see what those buttons are really doing. But like I said, I will make this lesson, but a little bit later on. The last thing that I want to show you, which I got asked as well, are water puddles. If you want to create something like this, let's say you have a stone floor. Let's just simply create a new shader. Here, advanced material. And let's maybe load here some kind of map into the diffuse. First of all, I would probably need to look out for one that we could use. Let me see what I have here in the textures. Maybe some kind of, well, anisotropy is not really what I'm looking for. Let's see if I have here in the dirt shader any texture that I could use. Leather. Yeah, let's just take a leather texture for now. It doesn't really matter for this tutorial purpose here. And let's maybe use a darker one. Let's maybe use this brown one here. Okay, and let's map this onto our plane. Let's get rid of the displacement. Let's make a quick render and see how this map looks like. Probably extremely flat and way too big. Yes, okay, let's bring this here to cubic and make this way smaller, like maybe 50-50. Okay, let's maybe 10-10. Then we get a lot of reputations, but this doesn't really matter for us right now. And let's say, okay, this is some kind of stone floor or something like this. Doesn't really matter to us if this is just leather. What we could do is just simply, we need to tell where we want to have this water, of course. So we could just simply make this with a map, a black and white map, as you might have guessed. So we're basically creating an alpha channel. So let's just simply load a black and white map. I should have one lying around. The map that I'm using the most is metal glossiness. We just simply have some black spots in there, which is good. And let's just simply drop this onto our plane and see, okay, everywhere where we have, sorry, let me just delete, let me just bring this up here. And yeah, I think we need to leave this here as UV mapping in the first place and bring this back here to 100, 100. Let's just simply make this maybe some kind of, I don't know. Let's get rid of this texture here. This leather texture really throws me off. Let's make this just maybe like a 50% gray color. Or maybe make it a little bit bluish, maybe something like this. So those numbers in the RGB. Okay, and let's drop this on here. But now we can see everywhere where we have the black spots, let's say we want to have there some water. I would just simply set this here to cubic. And cubic is not really good. Let's maybe try this flat. No, flat might be good. Let's just leave it at UV mapping and let's maybe change here a little bit something. So everywhere where we have the black spots now, so you can paint your own map or download your own maps. Everywhere where we have those black spots, we want to have some water overlaid. So what I can do is just simply I take this water material that I have already created and load just simply this map into the material weight, so in basically the alpha channel. I have still no clue why the V-Ray developers did call this material weight, but this is basically the alpha channel. And then we just simply load this in, paste channel. And I think we need to invert it. So that's really the water's, no, I think this was okay, not inverted. Okay. And now we just simply take this, take another mix material, shader, a blend material, sorry. And now we take the blue material that we have created as base material and just simply put the water over it. And this should now give us the water petals where we have all those black spots. And let's just simply put this blend material on there. Maybe over this Cinema 4D material. Let's get rid of this one. And let's render this and we should here get some kind of water petals, as you can see. Yes. So everything else is blue diffuse right now, and everywhere where we have the black spots, we're starting to getting this really nice water petals. The only problem is that we can see through here now a little bit, which is not really what I want. Let me just think, what did I do wrong? I think not much, to be honest. I think we just have to change here the map a little bit more in the water. Let me give this here a color correction. So we're really having absolutely white and absolutely black. Color correction, hello. Colorizer, okay, colorizer is good. Let me get rid of this point, just drag and drop. Let's make this white and let's bring this in here like this, okay. And like this, oopsie. And now we should get what we want. Yeah, okay. I think this is just, I'm not even sure if we see through, if this is reflecting. But now we can create some water petals and we can also create a displacement map, or let's just use the displacement that we already have here and use the exact same map that we used for the alpha channel in the water. Let's put it here into our displacement, put the displacement here into the first place. Like this, and we need to make sure that we have the exact same mapping. Even so, I think only UV mapping is working with displacement like this. So let's try if this works here, 35 and 68. So that's exactly aligned the same like our map. And then we should get some displacement as well. Yeah, we do get some displacement. And we could make this plane, of course, editable and extrude it a little bit. So I think this should also help, of course, to get rid of the see-through effect. Let's click on create caps. Let's go align normals, okay. And let's just simply see what we get. And now we should get our blue material with some water petals. The displacement is now way too high, I think, and maybe not aligned right. Let's maybe also make this -2 here, so that's coming out, or let's make it -0.1, something like this, so we're getting a little bit of displacement. And so yeah, this should work pretty good. Yeah. Even thought there's something crazy going on right now. Maybe the displacement is not working with this mapping method. Let me just simply get rid of the material here. And okay, this looks like this right now. This is completely strange mapped. Let me check this out. Probably the extrusion has here changed a lot. Damn it. Let me drop on the normal Cinema 4D material here again. Yeah, this has definitely changed a lot, but we can change this here now to cubic, because otherwise I think the displacement isn't working. Let's try and see if the displacement is working with cubic mapping. Let's up the amount here of the displacement, maybe to something like, let's maybe make it -2, so we can really see if we're getting the displacement that we want the displacement to happen. So here's definitely a spot, and here's a spot. Yeah, I think it's working. I think it's working. Yeah, okay. But it's going in the wrong direction, I think, if you really want to have water petals. So let's just simply, first of all, make this here a little bit bigger. Let's maybe like this, 200 and 200. So we should here get a big water petal, even though the resolution is not really good of this map here. The complete thing is a little bit too big. Let's maybe scale this down here. Bring it back to me. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Okay, perfect. Maybe a little bit like this. Okay, alright. And let's put the blend material on here. Okay, we have our displacement here, our blend material. Let's give it the exact same mapping. Let's just simply delete this, copy this over, control, drag and drop. So I have the same mapping here, and now I can just simply pull this over and have already the same mapping values here. So that the water petals really are spawning there where we have the displacement going on. And did I set this now into a minus direction? I don't think so. We would need to set this here down to +2. So it's going inwards instead of outwards, yes. Now we can let this render, and now we should get exactly at those spots, we should get some water petals. Even though in this scene we're not really seeing it pretty good. Let's maybe just get rid of the displacement again, and let's try it once again, and let's see what we get. Yeah, now you can see we're getting those nice water petals, even though I'm not sure where this black things are coming from, which I think is pretty funny where they are coming from. Do I have in the diffuse layer anything loaded? No. Specular layer? No. Material weight is ticked on. Where's this coming from? Really from the water? Are you serious? Let me invert this for now and let me see what we get then. So it's not really doing what I want it to do, to be honest. This is kind of weird. is really kind of weird. Let me just think this through, why this is happening, why we're getting also those black spots here. Because we should only see a blue material and yeah, nothing else, only the blue material, and then we should see these water petals. Because we have no black and white map loaded anywhere, so I have really no clue what is going on right now. Let me just only try the water for now on this thing, and let me see what is happening. If you're also getting some black spots here, yeah, we do. And if I only put the blue material on there, do we also get some black spots? No. But here we have a lot of noise. That's for sure. So we probably would need to up here the subdivisions in the light a lot. Let's maybe make this 128 and see if we can get rid of the noise. Yeah, this helps a lot. Let's maybe make it 256 even. And why is it in the why do I getting in the water those black spots? I really don't get it. Because I'm just using an alpha map and this should be it. So there shouldn't be really any black spots that I can see. Which is kind of weird, I think. Really kind of weird. Diffuse layer, anything loaded? Even if it would be loaded, it's not ticked on. So I'm not 100% sure what is going on here. The bumper still have a noise. Let's maybe get rid of this. Maybe this is distracting somehow. Maybe here, anything? SSS layer, no, not really. Preview, convert CFD bitmaps, yes, yes. Really no clue what is going on. Those black spots just simply shouldn't be there. I mean, this is just, yeah, this is what an alpha map, I don't know why it's showing a map here. I really have no clue. But this is basically, maybe it's my V-reversion, maybe V-Ray is messing anything up, or I don't get anything here. Maybe I'm just completely, I don't know, I'm not realizing anything, but I think I'm doing everything right here. And we should just simply only see the water spots on this plane and not anything else. I have really no clue what is going on. So let's try it one last time with the blend material now. And let's see how we get those water spots on our material that we are using. And as you can see here in the light cache, everything is fine. So it's not loading these black spots. But as soon as it starts rendering, those black spots appear. So this is definitely some kind of weird thing that has V-Ray going on. So don't blame me. So if you try it with your V-Ray version, those black spots shouldn't be there if you use those techniques. You should only see those water petals overlays over your floor texture or whatever you are using, or wall texture, what do I know, where you want to have those water petals. This is basically how you can create water petals inside of Cinema 4D. Like I said, you can also use a way better map here. You can use bump mapping or displacement to make this look even a little bit better and have it stick out more, and so on and so on. But this is basically how you would create them. Okay, so this was a way bigger chapter than I thought. Like I said, if you also want to experiment with ice, I will give you the scene file so you can check out the material a little bit better, what I did, and how you maybe can improve it a little bit or go from there and create your own ice material, and so on and so on. Yeah, but this is basically it with water. So we have some animated waves, we made normal water, we made maybe some condensation for bottles. I showed you how you can use maps. You can watch the tutorial of Viscorbo, how you can create your own maps if you want to. You can also, of course, download the 8K map from the site that I showed you from Cornelius Demrich, and so on and so on. So you have a lot of possibilities to create water, or definitely realistic water, for all kind of shots, interior, exterior, product shots, and what do I know, what you really want to create. So yeah, I really hope this was interesting for you guys, and I really hope you learned something. And yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you soon in the next lesson. Bye bye.